You must be the change you wish to see in the world, Mahatma Gandhi. Hi, it's Rhonda, the good influencer. And, I just told you that these podcasts come to me in threes, and I thought that the last two were perfect and succinct. And then as I was talking about the second one, when will we arrive at our goal? What is the timing? The third one just came up to me about shortcuts and how we take shortcuts because we get impatient. And so I wanted to call this podcast Asfelagi, and that is amharic for important. Asfelagi. It is important not to take shortcuts. Although this is a lesson that many of us have to learn. I've taken plenty of shortcuts thinking that I could save time, do better, be better, that it was better. You hear a common word there, better. And I realized throughout my life experience that, taking the long road isn't a bad idea. The growth and the foundation, the formidable foundation, as I talk about in way back in the beginning of my book, the formidable foundation that you build on Maslow's level one. If it's a strong, formidable foundation, it can't be broken. And that's why I call my book also The Unbreakable Person. It can't be broken because you've taken your time, you've implemented all the things that are necessary so that if anything comes along to rain on your parade, to cause a crack or a fissure or a fracture in something that you've built, you have a safeguard. You're going to be okay. You know how to recover. You may not even need to recover because the systems that you've put in place will recover itself. And that is why it is so important that we do the hard, painful work, that we walk through that. That is the growth. That is really the gift in all of this, the strength that we build when we look at ourselves and we say, wow, I didn't think I was going to make it through that storm, but I did. Let me tell you a story about shortcuts. Really, just not really a story. It's kind of like just I don't want to call it a proverb because I'm no I can't predict the future. But what I can tell you is that if you do take a shortcut, or at least if when I take a shortcut, I I find this boomerang effect that I always come back around and I have to do it again because it wasn't done right in the first place. And I've been hard-headed about some things in my life that I thought that I could outsmart and outwit and outplay the situation. Like dieting. Thinking that I could lose weight and, for example, because I love pageantry and be good for that pageant. And that has happened. That has certainly happened before. I've lost weight and I was great for the pageant. But I found that I really didn't win at my goal. My long term goal was to make a lifestyle change and to embrace the body, the person that I really wanted to be while wearing that crown, not just for the event. And as grew up and got older, I realized that when I started to put the weight back on, it was very painful. And that wasn't where I wanted to be. I didn't want to be in a painful spot, especially being a title holder. So I was so happy that I had matured enough this time around to see that I needed to make a lot of lifestyle changes, which, I didn't, it was hard to give up certain things that I loved. And now that I've been doing it for quite a while, I don't miss it. It doesn't tear at me. It's not something that, I negotiate constantly in my mind. And that's what is important about not taking those shortcuts because you build that strength, that formidable foundation, and you don't get that boomerang effect where you go round and round and round. And that could be such a bad cycle. I have friends of mine that gave up on making a lifestyle change, implementing exercise and yoga and eating healthy for, I try to eat healthy at least 95% of the time during a 30-day period. That works for me. And this is just for me. I'm not advocating this for anybody else. And if I so choose, then I can have something, that is not on the plan. And I can tell you that's if I get to that point and I want something. And a lot of times I don't because I've implemented a lifestyle change. Well, because I've been practicing and working on having a lifestyle change, I have seen some of my friends, male and female, uh, not work on it like a lifestyle change, and then they opt into doing things that are surgical. That people have asked me, they thought that I had Botox. It's not that I'm not against Botox. I mean, I might need it in the future, but I've never used it. And people were surprised, "Your skin." Well, I eat healthy. I eat a lot of fruits and vegetables that have the antioxidants to help rebuild the collagen in my skin. It's not perfect. I could probably still use a little bit of Botox if I wanted to, look 25. But I am happy not having to have used that at this point in my life. And like I said, it's not that I'm against it. I'm just for building a healthy lifestyle for as long as I can live doing it and being happy and comfortable in my skin. And the point of this message is, or this podcast, is that shortcuts. I know that we're impatient. I want things to happen fast. I want to find a better way, a faster way. And sometimes it's okay to look into that, but I have found from my own experience to do the work, do the homework, like our teachers used to say, do all the problems, not just the evens or the odds. Do all of them. I know it takes time and it takes a while, and it seems like we don't have the time to do that, but it's your life. Make the time for you. You are important. So that was my message on shortcuts because we talked about doing that hard, painful work. And oh my gosh, I know what a trial and tribulation that could be to stick with something, but it really makes you formidable. And then just putting out of your mind what your arrival time is going to be. That was the last podcast. You might get there early, you might get there later. And I believe that for me, most of the time, I wasn't as late as I thought I was when I did it right the first time. And shortcuts, yeah. Shortcuts, they don't, for me, always pay off. They just don't always pay off. It's just not a bet. I don't wanna put money on a shortcut, not ever again. And I gave you, an Amharic word, and I really wanted to I'll preach it again. It's called Asfelagi, important, Asfelagi. This is really important. Shortcuts, I just don't think that they're really healthy. All right. Good influencer. That's what I'm trying to be. Be a good influence, do your very best. And, our best is what we have to offer today as our best. Our best always changes day by day, but we get better if we always do our best. That's it for now. I'll talk to you in November. Oh my gosh, November. I believe this podcast is going to air on my favorite day, Halloween, and I'll post some pictures of me. I am going to be Olivia Newton John from Greece. My husband loves her, and it's just to commemorate her passing. She was such a source of inspiration and purity and just positivity in my life. I'll talk to you next time.